Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Michael. So today is going to be an interesting two-part video. The first part is going to cover a trip that I took, a secret audiophile trip to Indianapolis. As many of you know, I love this adventure, this journey. That's why I named my channel Adventure, because I love to learn and listen and try different things, be exposed to different things. So there are a lot of brands out there. I hate the word boutique brands, but I'm going to use it in this instance where it may not be known by as many people as a more common name brand, but my experience has been that typically those less well-known brands are much better, frankly, than the more common known brands. So what are we talking about today? Well, before I tell you the name of the company, I will tell you that I reached out to a very good audiophile friend of mine who is an ultra high-end dealer. And I said to him, his name is Mike. I said, hey, Mike, what do you think of this brand that I'm looking at for cables? And he kind of giggled. And he said, now these are his words. Ooh, they have the secret sauce. I said, really? What do you mean? He said, there are two cable brands that are really, really high end in terms of they've got it figured out. One of which is Siltech. As you know, I have Siltech cables in my system. I love Siltech cables. And the other one is this brand I'm about to show you. He said, this is the brand that everybody in the know talks about and wants. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Stealth audio cables. And I think their name Stealth is probably appropriate in the sense that there aren't as many people who know about them who frankly should. So I reached out to Stealth. So they said, well, Michael, we've got just the guy for you to meet. I said, okay, well, who's that? His name is Mark, and he's up at Tone Studio in Indianapolis. So I said, okay, you got a lot of cables there set up that I can listen to? And they said, we've got it there. He's got it set up right. He's got an ear. He knows what he's talking about. Check him out. I said, okay. So I talked to Mark. We arrange a trip. I fly up there, and I met him. I have a lot of video here, and I'm going to in a short time turn it over to his words, let him talk about his story, fascinating story, and talk about his background. But I'm going to use him as a voiceover on a lot of the video of my trip, his rooms, the gear, what I listened to, because he was camera shy. So I said, okay, no problem. I said, we'll record your voice and I'll dub you over on the video. So it's not that I'm trying to hide Mark from the public. It's that this is his choice and not to be camera front and center. I totally get it. But what I really liked is that I probably spent 6 hours in his studio listening to gear. Mark has got it going on. He's got his gear set up right. His rooms are set up right. He's got a phenomenal, phenomenal ear. I have the utmost confidence in recommending him to any of you looking for systems or high-end gear or somebody who knows what they're talking about. But it lends credence again to the Stealth cables. He's got Stealth cables, different levels on all his gear. And I was really amazed by what I heard with the cables. So I'll talk more about that in my second video because we actually have a Stealth cable that we're going to be reviewing. Kudos to Stealth cable. They are beautiful cables. Some of them almost look like a piece of artwork, and the wife acceptance factor would be really, really high on these, on top of our acceptance factor of the sound. So let me get to the video, listen to what Mark has to say, check out his stuff. I will tell you, we heard Estelons, small and large. We heard Van de Steen, we heard Martin speakers, and oh my gosh, I was in love with the Van der Steen. I believe it was the 7 Extremes. Of course, the cabling was all Stealth, but those speakers with the Stealth cables well, let me put it to you this way. I hear a lot of gear that I like. I hear a lot of speakers that I like. I would not necessarily own them. Those Vandersteins, if I had the money, I would own them. I would buy them in a heartbeat. They were amazing. And I'm sure a lot of that had to deal with the stealth cables. So let's get over to the video. I put a little entertaining montage in the beginning. We'll do a voiceover so you can hear Mark and his story. Then we'll get to the showing you the rooms, the cables, the speakers, and we'll talk more in video too about the actual cables themselves, the technology, and how they sound in my system. All right, guys, stay tuned. So we're here with Mark at Tone Studio.
Well, when I moved from New York City to Indianapolis, my very close friend, he actually told me several times, why don't you open a store? So I finally decided to do it. And that was his idea. Wherever I can, I'll try to make a sound so people can enjoy it to myself. Because if I don't like what I play here, it doesn't make any sense. Because if you can sell anything, the merchandise, but it's not just merchandise, it's a sound, and people would like to have at home something that could bring them closer to the real performances, even if it's possible, which I think, unfortunately, that in the ultimate measures, it's impossible. When I started the store, I was very new, and I remember my very first consumer electronics show. After that, I already had location. I had to do a lot of physical work to make it somehow listenable. And so it started in '87 into December, and now it's over 35 years. If I conducted my business a little different, but I'm happy with what I do, because when I sit next to the customer and we have a very good sound, and it doesn't matter if you're going to buy it or not, if I enjoy that together with him, that means that I'm not doing this for nothing.
And guys, I want to clarify what he means about when he says conduct business different. Mark, he doesn't have a Facebook page yet. He doesn't have an online presence yet. He's word of mouth more than anything else. So when he says conduct business differently, he means from a mass media point of view and not how he treats his customers. And I wonder, Mark, if that comes from a little bit from your musical background.
Well, as I told you before, my father wanted me to be a pianist because he was a pianist. In school, they wanted me to go somewhere else because they said that the guy not interested and he shouldn't be a musician. Well, my father said no. Let's still do something. So they wanted me to become anybody but piano player. Too many of them. So my mom took me to the classical concert, and a symphony orchestra was playing, and I was 6 years old, and she wanted me to choose instrument. How I choose cello, I don't know. I became a cello player. And for the rest of my life in the school, conservatory, then moving to United States in Juilliard, and then in orchestra in Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra for 36 years. I played cello most of my life, and I was exposed to classical music. But then orchestra is orchestra. And when I moved to Indianapolis, all of a sudden, my very close friend pursued me to open a store. I never sold anything, but I did. And so here we go. Last December, it was exactly 35 years of Tone Studio. But how do I choose my components? Originally, some of it I already knew, and some of it I actually chose because they not only sounded good, but the manufacturers were very very friendly with me at my first CES show. I got some components and I started, and then I choose more. And every time I have a line, I would like to be able to audition and enjoy myself. Because if I don't, why would I be in store? So that's what happened. And I still enjoy making good sound and play around with the cables. We're gonna talk about cables in the future and how I can adjust every system to my liking and sometimes to what customer want. And it's supposed to be. You can't really change it. I mean, you have a little boom in it there and little echo. So this is how it is. So anyway, when I put systems together, I like to play with cables, with even small feeds, and I learn what they do and how they do. And if I'm lucky, if nothing changed, because things change in store, then customer actually will walk in when I dial into perfection, and he would love so.
And listening upstairs, it sounded fantastic. So we're going to go upstairs now. Mark is going to give us a tour of some of his more unique pieces that he loves and why he loves them. We're going to talk some more about cables, because this is just beginning. And I will tell you, we've been here several hours so far, and it has just been nothing but exciting and totally thrilling. So stay tuned for more.